It's driving me crazy.
I had to find a moment where you stopped talking so I could unmute you.
Oh,
But the problem is with Ben is that he never shuts the fuck up, so it's
uh-huh.
hard to find
That
those
is a
things.
can be a problem. Okay, there we go.
He
I
got a
got
new
a new computer,
PC.
man. Everything's new.
Yeah.
Everything's new.
So we had a few technical difficulties, but you don't know that because this is going to be uploaded to YouTube's,
Hmm.
and we're just doing this live. So usually we would start about 20 minutes ago, but again, that won't affect you guys at all.
No,
Yeah.
doesn't at all.
Any pre-banter before we get started?
I got nothing.
Okay. I mean, I got plenty, but I think I'll just tell you about it when I get down there and come to visit you.
Hmm.
Perhaps this weekend, but
Hey,
maybe next weekend. Not
hey.
really sure,
Okay.
but we'll talk about it then.
Sure.
By the way, we're on the internets, dude.
Are we on the internets? Right on.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to Critters in Taiwan, a D&D podcast about Critical Role, where a bunch of nerdy-ass voice actors sit around and play Dungeons and Dragons. I am Ben and Gaosheng.
I think it's easier to do the intro than the outro because the outro is like, oh shit,
Mm,
and the intro it's like, hey, we are, I'm in Tim and Taichung.
and we're Critters in Taiwan. Yeah, that's that. So, yeah, it's been a hell of a week. I got a new computer this weekend and got myself familiarized with Windows 11, and apparently things are weird and with just slightly different. Not super different, but slightly different.
It should be user friendly, right? But like the
Supposed
difference
to be.
between 10 and 11, because I'm
Yeah.
still on 10.
The girl's first immediate response was, "Oh, they just copied everything from Mac." Okay, I get it. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, it kind of looks the same. There's the thing at the bottom that a Mac has, and there's like other windows that it's yeah, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
whatever. It's a
you,
computer. It works.
yeah.
Hey,
Finally, yeah.
tonight we are talking about episode number 96, Shadows New and Old.
Shadows new and old. Okay, yeah, yeah.
Mm,
I always find it interesting how they find a way to put it on the nose.
yeah,
I guess that's what a title should be, right?
it should be.
Shadows new and old. It's like, yeah, that was pretty cool to hear about, like the tomb takers. Saw a
Mm-hmm.
few of them,
We
and
saw the three of them, yeah, the ones that didn't make it through the Intuit charges.
yeah, and they were also, kind of. It seemed like they were fairly old. I mean, we're
Hmm.
jumping in already pretty quick, but
7 years,
fairly.
I believe.
Yeah, yeah. Well, 7 years is
Been
kind of a long time for a body
yeah,
to decay or get picked at or whatever.
in a it wouldn't be decay because it's sub-zero, so they would decay,
Right.
it wouldn't decay much. But yeah, definitely predators and other things. Yeah, little creepy crawlies getting in there and doing their thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Uh,
thought it was kind
Ice
of funny.
cockroaches.
There you go. Ice cocks. Yeah.
The oh yeah, those little fucking cave fishers. That's right, those motherfuckers. Ooh.
You know. So yeah, so not a lot of
The
people
cave.
going up there and doing stuff, but
Mm,
also preservation. But then also, man, they got some weird ass critters up there, dude. I
yeah.
mean, as we found out towards the end of this episode.
Hmm.
Don't know if we want to get into that quite yet, but
I have problems with some things like there's
oh no, Ben.
well here's the thing, right? Like we're just gonna get right into this. Here's my
Okay.
here's my biggest. It's not a problem. It's just I want to know if Ludinus is getting in there to get a whole bunch of stuff, which he clearly has because we've seen it in previous episodes. And Bell's Hells goes in with Essek through the front door, and then they sneak past a bunch of ice trolls, and they get down in through all of this stuff, and they go squeeze through there. Are the rest of them getting in there that same way? Or is there another way to get in there? Because we know teleport magic doesn't work well.
Mm-hmm.
So how are the rest of them getting in to get this stuff out? There
Hmm.
must be another way.
Yeah, or lewdness is just so damn powerful where it's like, oh, undead
Hmm.
ice trolls or whatever, undead ice giants and then ice trolls. You'd be like, nope, whoosh, sorry, and just like just walks past them. Who knows what
Maybe.
kind of powers he has at this point?
Maybe.
Like
Maybe.
he's basically demigod status at this point, as far as
We
we
figure, yeah.
understand. Yeah.
Hmm.
So maybe he's got some shit going on. Maybe he's got boons from fucking Predathos, you know.
Could be.
That could be like, oh, you know what? I'm going to eat you and turn you into one of these, a boon from, eat it, like the itchy neck and the whole,
Hmm.
Just saying. I mean, who other than Predathos would be like, oh, eat something and gain their power?
Right.
What better god, than Predathos?
Hmm. Well, maybe
Is that a new idea for you?
no. I just suddenly like I'm drawing the parallel about is that how he got the idea for the harness in the first place?
Yeah, something I've been thinking about. It's like, hell, you eat gods, I can eat
They
other things.
we talked about this before. That Matt sort of alluded to that first harness or the original designs for the harness being made when he was in Malayasmere, and that
Mm.
was supposed to be the first contact of him with Ruidus people. Maybe it was his contact with the Ruidus people that gave him the vis-a-vis Predathos that gave him the idea for the harness in the first place, or it was the spark of the harness's creation.
Now I'm getting Ukatoa vibes.
Huh? Predathos. Oh, no, Ukatoa.
Nice spin. Consume, like all that
Right.
stuff.
Right. So that's the like that suddenly popped into my head. I'm like, wait a minute, is that a thing?
Mm.
Maybe we'll find out.
Perhaps
Mm,
for sure. Yeah.
mm, mm, mm.
Huh. So in
Anyway,
this episode, what did we see? We saw like the aftermath of the butting heads between basically Briarwood and Oram.
yes,
And
yes,
then second half we got into Aor and
yep.
complications therein.
Yep.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
again, like this came up, and this isn't a point that I have written down, but I was thinking like feel like in the first campaign too, so much more happened in one episode. Now, what I mean by that, is that okay, in campaign 3 here, we can have like an episode where it's 5 hours long. This one was
Mm-hmm.
like what, 4.5,
4.5.
and well on Twitch, so I guess like
4.
350 or something like that with the
Yeah, yeah,
intro
yeah.
and the
Yes.
interlude.
Yes.
And but I feel like there was so much more happening in the second campaign and the first campaign because they had private arcs instead of just
Yeah.
one overarching arc.
Yeah, very
Right?
much so. There's also been the big problem about how for the first 70 episodes or something, there was no downtime. It was always just go, 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 go. And there was never any what they call check-in time
Right.
where they actually can sit down and check in with each other about how they're doing and how the wealth, how you get, those big long conversations that they would have. It doesn't have to be like a whole episode conversation, but like a 5-10 minute conversation between Caleb and Not. And
Right.
then, Yasha and Bo, and they have these check-in conversations about how they feel about these things, and it sort of empowers them to go forward. And it's sort of this has been a running complaint of many, many people is that these characters have not
Oh,
had time to actually check in with each other
really
until
connect.
now. And
Right.
it's one of the reasons why these past few episodes have been so great because they've had some serious, serious unpacking of emotional baggage.
There's a not a lot. There's a not a lot. There's not a lot of who's taken first watch. Like I don't remember
Yeah.
the last time anybody said that.
They don't sleep much in this one.
Yeah, for some reason.
They,
I
they
mean, like
really,
Orem gets
yeah.
his short rest, and he gets basically everything back except for exhaustion points, right?
Yeah,
He
well,
gets
no,
all
he
of his shit
gains he
back.
gains exhaustion points.
Well, if he
They
doesn't do a long rest, right?
Yes, fighters don't really regain any. All he really gets. He doesn't need spells. He gets a short rest gives him his second wind and his action surges. So he
Right.
gets that stuff back on a short. Hmm?
So I remember a few episodes back, maybe 10 or
No,
so.
he doesn't
He
get
was saying
action
like
surges.
I don't need a long rest except unless
Yeah,
I'm exhausted. I get everything back from a short rest. So
not everything. He doesn't get action surges back.
from a short
Pre-
rest.
Pretty sure. I could be
Uh-oh.
wrong about that.
Video froze and is gone.
Uh-oh. That's
New
weird.
PC problems, y'all.
Yep. That's weird because it froze on my end too.
Am I
Huh.
frozen on yours?
No, you're good.
Oh,
What's happening there?
not sure.
Okay. Let's see what I can do.
Maybe just a little setting on that little camera
Could be.
button down there.
Let's see if I can do this and do this and do this and uh-oh. Now it won't turn back on again. And the time is froze and everything is froze. Oh no. Okay,
think-
I'm gonna hang up and call back.
Okay, sounds good.
All
I'll
right.
sit here and promote,
Sure.
all the things that we have for sale.
I can't sign out.
Oh, what if
I
I end
can't.
the call?
I literally can't hang up. It's totally okay. All right, task manager, do your thing.
All right, so I'm gonna hang up the call, and you're gonna call me back.
Yep.
All right, here we go. And call. I'm gonna give it 4 stars because it was really great up until the last moment there, and I don't think it's their problem. Speech was not net. I don't give a shit. That's not good podcasting. Um, I am on kind of a hiatus for music right now because one of my guitarists, Sean, he had a baby. And so I don't have shows to promote. It's like the first time in years that I don't have a show to promote. And I'm kind of itching. It's like, hey, y'all got any bands that I can play with and play a show with? We've got the Broken String Cavalry, which is exactly what it sounds like, where when Sean inevitably breaks a string, here comes Ben. We come in and we start playing songs because Sean has to go and replace his string. But we don't have anything recorded, so we can't promote it. Anyway, we do have some shows. We could play some shows, but we only got like 5 or 6 songs. But hopefully soon, when Sean gets taken care of with the baby and more stable, we'll be back in full force. I just got contact with some people in Taiwan and perhaps some Kaohsiung shows as well. Because apparently some people are missing us.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. Hey, so everything looks good?
Oh, we'll see for how long. It's telling me that I've got 2 Skypes running, so I'm not really sure what that means. I don't know what it means. I'll figure it out later.
Yeah,
New computer problem, and we got a glitch there.
It's doing
I saw
funny.
it.
It's doing funny things.
There's I think it's because there's 2 running, and I think it's fighting with itself. I'm not sure. We'll see how long it goes, and if it goes, it goes. It does, it does. We'll see. Hey, maybe that's a sign we should get into some rollies.
Yeah, sure. Let's get some rollies going. All right. My Ford die won, so I'm probably not going to win a lot of these with a natural 3.
Okay. Ooh, 17.
What a waste.
Okay, right off the hop, right at the beginning, at the very beginning of this episode, we start with Laudna and Imogen up on the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of crying. Lots of uncertainty. There was some very, very raw emotions going on there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask you this question.
Okay.
Do you think they broke up on the roof?
Oh, no, I didn't. That didn't cross my mind.
Okay, because there were some things that were said that maybe felt like, okay, maybe now it's time to take a break because this is a little bit too much, and you got to deal with this stuff and blah blah blah. Okay, that never crossed your mind at all.
No, it did not.
Okay.
In fact, I kind of felt the other way. I kind of felt like there was a lot of support there where it's like, hey, I'm here for you, whatever it is that you need to do. And then it was a little strange because Laudna was like, especially when she came back down, she was like, just so you guys know, she's in for the ride, period.
Right.
And she like laid that foot down or put that foot down.
Yes.
But on the roof, like Imogen was, I didn't get any breakup vibes. I only got kind of like,
it felt like, okay, because there was a long pause when they talked about where they go, like if Delilah's there. Imogen had a really long pause and was like, okay. And then she's like, I'm going to go. And she left.
Oh, maybe it was their first fight kind of thing?
Then, could be.
Because she also said, like, I think Laudna said, she was like, I remember you said that you don't like the fact that she can just, like, watch us develop as a couple or something like that, right?
Right.
Huh. But that was Laudna saying that. And I don't think Laudna's in the place where she's like, oh, no, this is too much for me, so I'm going to break up with you.
Like we said last week, it's a lot of warlock shit that's really hard to deal with. It gets creepy and possessive, and
it's a Laudna warlock stuff to worry about. Oh,
so yeah, that's that's my first thing.
I didn't get that, but I can yes and that real quick. I was fantastic RP. going on, especially from Robbie, dude. Robbie was doing amazing RP, and there's a little bit more about that coming up later. But my first question pertaining to this conversation, why was Marisha / Ladna crying so much? And this might tie into what you just mentioned. Maybe she felt like it was like a breakup or something.
Yeah, that's sort of what that's
like Marisha was crying.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe she was just in character and Laudna was crying, so of course that makes Marisha cry. But
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see where the emotions were necessarily coming from.
That was part of it. That's what I said. There were lots of tears and lots of
A
emotions
lot.
on there. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so was there sort of a did one of them think it was and the other was like whatever, and then they go to sleep later and they're sort of like, okay, you sleep separately, but
Yeah,
you wait.
gave him space. Yeah.
Right. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, so it's hard to know.
Yeah, maybe it's kind of like you and me right now, where you're like, I got breakup vibes, and I'm sitting there like, huh? What?
Could be.
Yeah. So
Could be.
shit, maybe. Oh, there's Lazy Girl.
There she is. Yep.
There she is in frame. She knows where to sit now. Oh, what a sweetheart! Can't wait to see her again.
Mm-hmm.
Darling. Well, shit, man. Should we get another one going?
Do another one.
Let's do it. Ooh, 16. Not bad.
8.
All right.
Wait, no, it's upside down. 8.
Oh, turn it sideways.
Whoa.
Oh, that blew your mind. Okay, I want to stick to that conversation, I guess, a little bit.
Okay.
All right, yeah, another little quick one here. When Imogen said to Ladna, I always have to choose, is it Laura or is it Imogen? When she says to Ladna, she chose you for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
I completely 100% thought she was going to go the other direction. I thought she was going to say, she chose you because you can be manipulated easily. I really thought that was going to be a huge moment between them, perhaps on a breakup front.
Okay.
And then she was like, "No, she chose you for a reason because you're powerful." You know?
Right.
Like,
right.
And I didn't see that coming. Like as soon as she continued talking, I was like, "Oh shit! I didn't even consider that." Because the way that Lana talks about herself all the time, she's like, "Dude, if I didn't have her, like I would be powerless,
I'd be worthless, and all of that." Right.
And I don't know how true that is.
No, I don't think it's true at all. I think Fern or Ashley with Fern talked about that as well. Like you're fine the way you are and you're powerful the way you are. It doesn't all come from, because I think if we're going to talk above table, she has less levels in Warlock than she does in Sorcerer at this point. So it's the Warlock stuff is, she probably won't take any more levels in Warlock either, because it doesn't make any sense to. Somebody was talking about this.
Or
no, mechanically, like above table stuff. The Warlock features don't get better for a few more levels, and they get better. So in this end game scenario where they're in now, it wouldn't make sense to take more levels in Warlock. It'd just be a waste. The Sorcerer levels are more valuable, or more powerful, more advantageous. Mm-hmm. That's that happens. That's a typical multi-classing thing that happens. Once you hit a stumbling point in one of the multi-classes, and it suddenly you're like, if I take a couple more in this one, it's way better than just taking a couple in this one. So it sort of becomes how do we game this? You're a little bit of min-maxing at that point, but for reasons.
This kind of reminds me, anybody who knows about Super Mario RPG on the SNES, which is just recently re-released on the Switch. I
remember it well.
Every time you level up, one of them has extra bonuses every time. And you're kind of encouraged to do that one just to make sure that your character gets stronger, and so they're more well-rounded. But I said, fuck that shit.
Just
and
go
like,
with
depending on whichever character it was, like with spoilers. With Bowser, it was 100% just the power shit,
Oh wow!
And with like Geno and whatever, just 100% magic. Even though this one's got like +5 and +4, like, but this one's +1/+1. Fuck it, nope, doing it.
Nope, going it
every time. And it made the game a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, I was gonna say it makes it a little tougher because you're not as well-rounded, and the game wants you to be more well-rounded. But yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So,
sure. So she's sitting there just like, oh, but if I get this one level, I'll get this boon.
This is a follow-up to that. It's sort of a bit rhetorical, but it is kind of relevant.
That's why we're here, bud.
Remember, so this is what I wrote down after all of this stuff, and like basically almost to the break. Yeah, right to the break. Remember when they went to Nana Mori's to solve all their trust issues?
Yeah, that came up a little bit.
Yeah,
We're talking about trust, guys, and then
right.
like I immediately went back to that episode.
I'm like, okay, this was the whole purpose that they did all of this, and what was even the point of going there? I mean, I
Yeah.
guess they made some deals in that, but the whole reason they were going was to not for that. The reason was to go was to get be better for with each other.
Uh huh.
Clearly,
And whose idea was that? And
yeah.
who
Well,
is not there
right.
anymore?
No, no, no. It's true. It looks like
Hmm.
we might not see him until the live show or until campaign 4.
I mean, he's gonna be there for the live show. I
Well, we
mean,
know he's going to be there
Sam.
because I told you this last week. He's on the billing, but we don't know if he's going to be on the stage.
Yeah, he'll be. I mean, he'll come out on the stage for some reason or another, but maybe not
Mm-hmm.
during the episode. I mean,
See,
you got to have a reason for it, and I'm sure they can shoehorn one in. But
I think we're off. We're off next week. I think and then it's one more episode, then the live show. Actually, I think it's. Am I right about that? I think it's 2 more. It's 1 more and then the live show, but I think the live show happens second, third. Sorry, third. If I look at this right, June. Yes. So we're back on June 6th. Then the live show is the next week, but we'll get something pre-recorded, and then we'll get the live show on the 20th
I
or
lost all my
21st.
muscles.
21st here actually.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that live show because it's
Mm-hmm.
been ages. It was Wembley Stadium the last time we got a fucking live show.
Yeah, we haven't had an in-campaign live show until for a very, 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 very long time,
Yeah.
several years.
Yeah, campaign 2 before COVID, I think,
Mm-hmm.
right? They didn't have one after, right?
No.
They had like a battle royale, but I don't even think that was live, was it?
I looked this up too. The Greek theater is 6,000 people. It's a big theater.
Wait a minute. Wait. Where are they going live? The
Greek.
Greek theater. Where's this? Where's
LA.
this? In Los Angeles. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking for some reason the Gramercy in New York.
No.
Okay,
No, they're
never
doing there's a live show the live show was this past week actually. It was this last weekend. The live show, the
Oh,
Candela
they just did it. Well,
The Candela Obscura live show was this past
Oh.
weekend.
I mean,
yeah,
frankly, I don't care, but
Yep. And then they're June 20th. It'll be the the Bell Cells live show is June 13th, but it will be aired on June 20th.
are they putting asses in seats for Candela Obscura?
I'm sure.
I mean,
I'm sure.
is there a show out there that somebody can link to me in the comments, perhaps, about somebody who's really big fan of Candela Obscura? Because somebody got to convince me, man.
Mm.
You know, 'cause I
People
haven't
like
watched any of them.
Yeah. I've watched a few of them. Some of them are good, some of them are not. It's not
I
my
just lose interest. I'm on a walk and I start looking at signs
Yeah.
and start practicing Chinese.
It's a
instead
little
of-
bit too melancholy for me.
Yeah, see, I think that might be a big hurdle for myself as well.
Yeah. Anyway, that was my essence. Let's get back into rollies.
All right, let's get another rolly in here. I hope I win this one because I really got something I want to
infinity.
say.
You're in trouble.
11. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, I know.
11 is always bigger than infinity because they're parallel and they go on forever.
Mm-hmm.
Except for that little hook at the top. Anyway, oh man, there was a segue here that I think we kind of left it in the dust. But I'm gonna say it anyway. Something. Oh yeah, because it had to do with Sam, and like Sam not being there and not being at the table and not really noticing it. No offense to Sam, but not really noticing that he's not there for the ad reads and stuff. Like, yeah, I notice it big time there, but you know, Marisha's doing a fine job, and I'm pretty sure that Sam might be writing some shit in. Who knows? Because it depends on who does it and who gets paid, right?
Yep.
Unless it's just across the board, like at like a band, you go and like you get 12,000, so everybody gets 3,000. You know, I haven't really noticed his absence. Which, you know, I hope that's not offensive to Sam. We know you're watching. But here's what I noticed about Robbie coming in. This is his first character in this franchise.
Yes.
And let's think about every other actor at this table their first character at the table
Mm-hmm.
in this franchise.
Yep.
Basically, as we talked about multiple times in the past, the first character they had for Vox Machina was basically who they are, just like in fantasy realm, right?
Yes. More or less. Yes.
More or less, right? Of course, it's
Yes.
still like Pike.
Yep.
She's just like a sweetheart, and
Yep.
and like that's totally
Oh,
Ashley.
for the personality wise,
Yes,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And like Grog, and fucking, he's just brr, 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 big powerful man,
Yep.
because they're not really, they don't know that they're gonna go huge and have all this
Mm-hmm.
RP and all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then second campaign was more about, if I'm using it correctly, the id.
Yeah. Very
Yeah,
much.
I think
Yeah.
that was
Very
what
much.
you said, and I think I
Mm-hmm.
agreed but I had to look
Mm-hmm.
id up again.
They were going into a very emotionally dark place. Pretty much all of them.
And something completely different from
Yeah.
who they
Yeah.
were, but still something very inherently
Mm-hmm.
about them, right?
Yes.
For
And
every
there's
single
a
character.
general consensus. Yes.
Yeah. And then the third campaign is all right, well, we did those two things. Let's just do
Yeah.
something completely
Do
different,
something
but that's
completely
not
different and completely wacky.
yeah, and something that's not assigned to any kind of psychological, identity of some sort.
Yep.
So there's no ego, there's no id, there's no
Two completely homebrewed classes, and then a bunch of well, Fern and Orem coming out of the XU, and it was sort of that's weird, and Robbie as well, Dorian I guess as well, and
yep.
then yeah, Chetney being the fucking joke character from that one shot.
From that Christmas one shot
Yeah.
where he was chutney.
Yeah.
So what I was noticing, because Sam's not there, and then like Robbie's kind of taking his place. I don't like to look at it that way,
Mm.
but it's Sam is gone and Dorian is there. It's not a
Mm-hmm.
replacement. It's just a different character is there, and good for them because they need a healer like this. Robbie is doing his Vox Machina character.
Kind
A
of.
character that's very close to who he is as a person.
Mm-hmm.
A bard, like a charismatic question asker, and like very, very easy to get along with, a very, very personable person. That's just
Yeah.
what Robbie is. Everybody else is in their third iteration of their characters for this fucking huge successful show. So watching Robbie do this, it's a nice dynamic because it kind of brings me back to Vox Machina days,
Right.
when Robbie is there playing his character Dorian
And
well.
he's doing this. Yeah, he's doing this thing that's very natural, very
Yeah.
normal.
Not
Yeah.
a whole lot of acting
Yeah.
there. Whereas
Right.
everybody else, they're like, no, we're like two things separated from our first character, but he's
Yep.
doing the first one.
Yep.
And there's something about that
That's nice.
dynamic. He kind of brings us back to home, kind of in a way that, yeah, Sam is. I'm not going to say Sam's not missed, but Dorian fills those shoes in a really nice way that makes us feel comfortable.
Yeah, in a very adjacent way.
Yeah. Thank you.
It does make things. It does make things comfortable. You're right. That's a really, because definitely, he definitely fills the comic relief shoe, and he
to
fills
some extent, yeah.
to some extent. Yeah. Because he in a very different way, in a way that is very slightly off the cuff kind of awkward, in a sort of a Michael Scott from The Office kind of way sometimes, where it's a little bit awkward, a little bit like confused, and a little bit yeah. Anyway,
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just use this other thing here. On that note, without doing another rolly, when he's sitting there, is like, should we go and follow Imogen? Like, is she okay out there with Laudna? And everybody's out there, just like saying like, yeah, I don't know, they're gonna be fine. They don't understand that Robbie is RPing.
They've
He
forgotten.
doesn't know
Yeah.
anything.
Yep.
And he's like, but is she safe?
Yeah.
And he locks eyes with Orm. He's like, can we trust her?
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't know that they're lovers,
That's right.
And
That's right.
I forgot that too until he was like, oh. And then something
Oh, you
else
don't
happened.
know.
I forgot the other thing that showed up right after that. Oh, yeah, the threesome, like,
Right.
oh, we had a threesome. He's like, wait, hold on. He just like got unloaded with that kind of stuff. Robbie was doing such good RP.
Yeah, real good. Real
Fantastic.
good.
So I'm going to go ahead and delete that one there too.
Okay.
But he did a great job, and I didn't expect that because I was like, I'm up to speed, but Dorian was not. Even though Robbie may have been. What do you think? Do you think Robbie was up to speed?
I do.
Yeah.
I think he knows. I think he has to be. But I think that he's very cognizant of the fact that his character isn't.
Right.
up to speed. And then
And
I
he,
think, but I think he definitely is. I think he has to be, otherwise it wouldn't make sense. Well, no, he would be. He would be.
yeah. Because
Maybe not maybe not in 100% way, but close enough.
yeah, I couldn't really tell if he was actually saying that he was unaware or if he was RPing it. But either way, he's either a really good actor or he actually didn't know about all that shit.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, without getting into my main one, I'd love to just sort of um, talk about the so it suddenly struck me as they did the whole montage with the outfits and then the new art, and you see the new art, it's
I did not.
pretty. Oh, the new art is pretty amazing.
Is it on this episode?
Yeah, it was on the at the after right after the break.
That's real
Right
nice
after
for
the
them to.
break. Yeah, they had all this well planned out in advance because they had new art coming at the break. So
Right.
yeah, that was like, oh, they already knew, so they were doing this and they had it planned. And people
Oh,
talk about
I must
people
have
talk about
accidentally skipped it.
yeah, people talk about Critical Role being scripted, and I'm like, but these are little points where it's like this isn't scripted, but they had the art ready before the shopping trip happened.
Hmm.
So
Well, that's pre-recorded, but it's still live. You know, there's a big ass difference.
oh,
Y'all.
that's a good point too. Okay, right. So the pre-recorded.
Yeah,
They
they
could
did
have
this
got the art
episode like
done.
2 weeks ago. They had that,
Maybe.
I
Maybe
mean,
not.
maybe a week ago.
Yeah. Okay. So that is time. Yeah. Okay. Fair play. Fair play. That's right. I'll take that back. Um, it was something really funny that happened and occurred to me is right after all of the outfits were all described. And then they start going through their stuff and they're like, oh, okay, we've got this, we got that, we got this. Let's use it in the harness. And then Orem absorbs the ring of protection +1 and gets his, permanent. What do you get? Permanent
Permanent
+2
+2 to hit
hit
points, right?
points
Yeah.
and 24 hours of advantage on blah 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 blah.
On a couple of rolls, but not other rolls.
Not attack rolls, but ability checks and saving throws, I believe.
Yeah.
Which is pretty huge.
Yeah.
But with the
I mean,
exhaustion,
2
it's
hit
just-
points is huge.
Yeah, 2 hit points is pretty amazing. But it suddenly occurred to me when they started doing that. Then they're like, "Oh yeah, let's do it again." They're like, well, Travis is like, "No, it's 20% chance that it'll break, right?" And they're like, "Oh no, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's not do it. Let's do it. Let's not."
Don't
I
chance
realized
it,
I'm like,
man.
well, this is the new Luxem beacon from campaign 2,
Oh.
where they look into it every day. They had the little coaster and they pass
That's right.
it around.
And they made
Whose
it so
turn-
fast. You're like, oh, you got it?
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
The first time you see it, Matthew goes through like, you go in and you get into this void.
Yep.
And you see
Yep.
this, you see this. I remember when Liam did it, his,
he cried.
Caleb. Yeah,
Yeah.
he cried. He went through a whole thing. He saw his family or something like
Yep.
that into
Yep.
this big old thing, and it was like
Yep.
a 20-minute situation.
Yeah, it
and
was-
then
it was
eventually it's like,
dramatic.
oh, who's got it now? Okay, you do.
Okay.
They just pass the die over.
Yeah. Yep. There you go. You got advantage. You can re-roll or whatever.
It's like, who does mushrooms this
Yeah.
time? Okay, 8 hours passed and you had a whole trip. It was fucking crazy.
Yeah. So the harness is the new Luxem beacon. I was like, oh, okay, that tracks.
Yeah. And they just do it like, I guess once a day if they have the things, right?
Mhm.
Because they were talking about the butcher's bib.
Yeah.
And yeah, get rid of that thing.
Whole bunch
you
of
know?
stuff. There's a shard. There's a bunch of. I mean, here's the thing with the harness. They're talking about putting Ishta in there, and I'm like, that is a legendary item. Yes, you get something from it, but no. I mean,
It's
I know we had
more
the big
useful.
fight. It's way more useful as a sword
Oh,
than it
no.
is. I froze again. Shit.
Oh, come on. Really? Just give me a call back.
All right, I'll call you right back.
All right. I'll be sitting here promoting. What was I promoting last time? Well, we did Broken String Cavalry, but we don't have any shows booked. It's kind of a secondary act. You got any open mics or whatever? Then yeah, we could play those because the three of us are available. None of us spat out any kids recently. What else? I'm doing private drum lessons. Oh, whew, nice catch. Starting private drum lessons. So if you're in the Taiwan area, get in touch with me either in the comments or DM me on Instagram. Oh, here's the phone call. So don't
Yeah.
forget it. I mean,
I don't
Ben-
know what's going on. I don't know why it does that. It's annoying. We'll figure it out. It's
Yeah.
on. It's clearly on my end. I've got to do something with Skype and get it sorted out.
It doesn't.
Damn you, Skype.
it doesn't seem time based. It seems like
No,
it's
it's
not based on that.
resource based. I think it's eventually just loading up. So it's glitching out for some reason. It
Yeah.
says Skype 2. Oh, fuck it.
Oh, come on. Oh, no, that happened last time. That happened
yeah,
last time too. Yeah.
it says I've got a Skype and then a parentheses 2 in the corner there. So I think there's two versions of it running, and that's not good to do. So I gotta do some figuring. I'll figure it out later
That's
once we get the
double the
I got a
double the
couple of weeks to
use.
do it, so I'll get it figured out over the next little while.
Yeah.
That
Mine
was my
says
point.
nothing. Actually, this
That's
is your old account, Ben
yeah,
Greenspoon.
it's weird. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with the new one. I don't know why it's doing that. We'll figure something out.
All right. Well, hey man, I got a couple more.
I
Maybe
got a
like.
couple more.
All right, let's do some rollies. Let's see what's up.
17.
8. So wait, sorry, I said it sideways. Infinity.
There you go. Listen, I want to talk about the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teleportation rules that they did. 7.
There's so many.
That is a record for sure. I wrote them all down. So 14, Robbie did 14%, Travis did 45%, Taliesin did 61%, Laura did 48%, then 49%. Marisha did 53, and then finally, 7 times lucky, Travis got a 96. And he thought it was a 46 until he looked twice at it, and the 4 was actually a 9.
Right.
So
Like, so a high roll is what they needed?
yeah.
Is this consistent to what happened in the past?
It is. Yeah, they were warned. The Mighty Nine were warned many times not to do teleportation because it would fucking fuck them up.
Right. You
So,
get
yeah,
launched into a mountain and shunt it out. Yeah.
Yep.
Huh. Yeah. I'm a little curious about, because like at one point Essek was like, all right, well, good news is we got away from the undead giants or whatever the fuck it was.
That by the way, that's in Explorer's Guide to Tal'Dorei, Wildmount.
That's Wildmount, right?
Something.
It's the north
in
end
one
of
of the
Wildmount.
books. It's in one of the books. It's called The Fortress of the Dead Jarl.
Oh,
it is an undead frost giant fortress in the north of way far north of Wildmount in Tal'Dorei.
Of
somewhere.
Isocross, perhaps?
No, not that far, but close.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
in the book.
He did explain. It was like you see this like palace of these walls, and it's like, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, what kind of undead giants are not super smart, as we've learned in the past campaigns.
Frost giants are.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, they are.
But they're undead. I don't know
Well,
what that does.
who knows what that means, right?
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, frost giants are as soon as you get above stone giants, you get into like frost and then cloud and then the one more than that, maybe not, maybe
Cloud giant?
Yeah.
What the
Yep.
fuck is a cloud giant?
Cloud giants they live in the clouds. Fortresses in the clouds.
That sounds like a lot of magic for giants.
Ooh.
Jeez. Is this in 5th edition?
Oh, it's been around for a long time.
Oh man. Fire giants?
Yeah, they live down. The fire giants in Exandria live mostly in the volcanoes, the Comorta volcanoes that were probably gone now. Remember we talked about the Phoenix last week?
Mm-hmm.
That's where that big fire
dark phoenix. Yeah.
Yep. There's a big fire giant fortress underneath that mountain that is probably fueled. The volcano that they live in is probably fueled by that phoenix, and now that it's out, that fortress is probably destroyed.
Oh damn! Yeah, because usually, I mean, like, what was it? Avocado.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. I can't remember the name because avocado's right there. Like they were. Was that avocado that was fueling the volcano on that island?
He was definitely doing something to it, but it was a volcano regardless.
This realm of control over people because of this mist or whatever, right? But then when he was gone, then we found out a bunch of like people like came to, some people stayed, some people left.
The volcano is still active.
Okay, was it? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. He was able to manipulate it and make it stronger or weaker in some ways, but it was still there.
Yeah. Shit. It's like that one stupid ass movie where they're like, "Hey, let's just throw some uranium into the sun to keep it going." Like, come on, dude. Like, take one science class in college. Fuck's sake. What was your initial point? What can I yes and with over here?
Teleportations, the amazing teleport. 7
And the
fucking teleportation
number of
rolls.
times.
7, man. It's wild.
That's way
The
too
fact they had to
many.
go, Essex needed a long rest to actually recover was pretty amazing.
Yeah, that was kind of cool that, like Essek, who is just kind of like
Hmm.
this untouchable hot boy, and he's
Yep.
like, guys, I need to sleep before I can try this again.
Yeah. The
You know?
Matt not rolling was pretty funny. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And like, yeah, it makes sense. It's like, yeah, it's a big old
Hmm.
spell, but he's saving his
Hmm.
ninth for whatever the fuck.
Hmm.
Let's see. What am I gonna yes and with? Nothing is super relevant to that, so I'm just gonna go
Just
with.
go do whatever.
All right, so 1 through 5. Oh, a natural one. All right, so I'm gonna go with Matthew got dark
Oh yeah. With what
when
part?
when they found those bodies
Mm.
and like the description before the psychometry. What is that? Something psychometry.
Grim
Grim
psychometry.
psychometry. Very aptly named, especially
Hmm.
for this time around. When he went in there and you see
Oh, the
this,
tent.
you
In the
see
tent.
that just
Yeah.
the like. This is it. He had to say specifically like it looks different. It looks like
Hmm.
somebody enjoyed it, and then you see the elf, which had blood all over their arms but no wounds,
Hmm.
but the knife in their throat and a look of elation on their face,
Euphoria.
and euphoria, right? And like so they killed. It's like that is some really dark shit. I've never.
Yeah.
When I heard Matthew saying it, I was like, Matthew, you're losing your purity. I felt like it was
Mhm.
doing irreparable damage to Matthew's.
I feel there's a bunch of ideas floating around out there about what that is.
Huh? You've seen some?
Yeah, my immediate thought was a geese of some kind, a possession of some kind.
Yeah, it's nobody themselves would do something like that
No,
unless they
and
were
the way he
fucking
described it,
insane.
well, the way he described it is that they were sitting there, and then he looks up, and then he
Oh, right,
leaves, and then
right.
there's a flash,
After
and
the
then
grim
then
psychometry, yeah.
right, the grim psychometry, and then no, yeah, he does the grim psychometry, and he's like,
When
okay, you
yeah,
see the elf, and then he's like, he looks up and he leaves the tent, then he comes back, and everybody comes in to talk to him, and then that's when he kills them all, and then Matt describes how they can't hold him back because he's got unnatural strength,
yeah,
unnatural power. It's like, okay, he's been possessed.
yeah.
He's being puppeteered. There's something. I mean, I don't know what. It's not just a simple dominate person. It's
No, because that wouldn't give you unnatural strength.
Yeah, something more. So it's curious what that might be.
A parasite, some kind of boon of some sort,
Who knows? But there's definitely something there.
and it's fucking dark. To enjoy maiming
Yeah.
people and then
Yep.
killing yourself and loving the fact that you're killing.
Mhm.
It's like the whole 72 virgins thing. It's like, dude,
Mhm.
this is the best thing for me. It's
Yep.
fucking dark,
Yep.
dude.
Very dark.
It was the darkest thing I think
we
I've
get
ever heard him
so
say.
immediately after that we get the tomb tapper with the cave fishers. That's what that.
You
That's
said
what
cave
that monster
fishers
is.
twice now.
Yeah. Well, the cave fishers are those little cockroach, scorpion things that
Oh,
run
that
out
comes
of
out of the nugget.
comes out of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Those are called cave fishers.
Okay.
And the mini that Matt put down is
Oh,
called
so sick.
tomb. It's called a tomb tapper.
Oh, okay.
And but it's hard to know if Matt's because the way that the tomb tapper stat block is very, very different than the way that Matt is going to play this because number one, they don't have cave fishers with them. They don't just those little bugs don't come out of them in the stat block. So that's something new.
It's
And
homebrew.
it's going to be some homebrew with this mini. So it's going to be pretty cool.
Might have some legendary actions,
Yeah, definitely will. This if it was just the straight up normal one, they probably wouldn't have with ASIC. They probably wouldn't have very much problem with it. One of the things that it can do is that it's sort of stone magic. Like it's kind of living stone, and it can manipulate the stone around it. So we watch for that next episode. It'll be
I'm
interesting
looking
to
forward.
see how it's going to like phase in and out, and then if Ashton's going to activate his shard, and then compete with that because, yeah, we'll see what happens. Who knows?
Yeah. I love the way Matthew was describing how it's just dragging the hammer behind it, but until it
Yep.
kind of activated and just like yep, the fucking
Yep.
8 little scorpion things, I think.
Yep. Yep.
If I counted correctly on the map, which
Yeah, 8 of
was
them, yeah.
by far the biggest map we've seen.
It's a big one.
That was huge. The camera didn't do it justice how big it was. It just made the buildings look small.
Yeah.
You know, but when he was carrying it, his arms were
Totally.
you know, huge.
Pretty
It was
amazing.
so
It
fucking
was
cool.
pretty awesome. Yeah, like that. It's man, I don't know. Fun use of arcane eye though. I like how Chetney used that. That was pretty neat to get into the cave. Sorry, I'm backtracking a little bit. I was just
Arcane
thinking
Eye.
about. Yeah, he did. He used arcane eye from the monocle to go into the tent, and then he went way up on the top. I was just thinking about the. You said it was much bigger because he went way up
Right.
on the top of the cavern to look down at everything and see all the dozens. I was like, yeah, it's much bigger in there than. Sorry, I was just tangenting there.
No, that's fine. Hey,
That's all.
that's what we're here for, man.
I'm pretty much done. I don't know. I'm at the end of I'm at the very end of my thing. So I'm excited about this combat that comes up next time. But
Yeah, it's nice to know what's coming up sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's nice to not know, but sometimes it's nice to know. And we haven't had like a big combat since Odahan.
that's
You
right.
know, so it's like
It'll be-
it's like I hope it's not super death defying such of a fight, but like more just like, hey, let's see what Dorian can do. You know what I mean?
There will be an interesting thing that happens going forward is that as far as we know, they don't have any diamonds.
Right.
And-
so if anybody goes down,
Fern is, as far as we know, is the only one that's capable of casting Revivify, and we know they don't have any diamonds. We're pretty sure they do. They don't.
yeah, unless they say,
So-
hey, can I make it so that I retcon and
That's-
I don't? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that might be a thing that happens.
I mean,
We'll
Matthew
see.
allows that. They're
All the
they're
time.
beloved characters, sure.
Yep.
Hey, one thing I noticed here, by the way, like maybe it's the new PC or something, but when you leaned back just now,
Yep,
I didn't notice a difference in your volume or your level.
like that.
Yeah,
Nothing doesn't change at all.
you're coming through like
Hey.
at minus 15 is normal.
That's amazing.
That's where I have you set. Now you're just like a minus 10. That's it.
Cool. Hey, it's good. So maybe the new computer is picking up. Maybe it's a much better connection.
You're
now.
much clearer too. There's
Yeah,
not a lot
okay.
of background noise as well.
That's good. That's good.
Probably got a better card or something.
Yeah, probably. It's all everything. It's just it's an upgrade all around. I'll just have to figure out this software issue.
Yeah.
That's a me thing. Like that's me not knowing what I was doing when I installed Skype. So
Well, hey, it's new.
I'll figure it out.
What are you gonna do?
Yep.
All right. Well then, hey, can I just like rattle a few things off?
Yeah, go
then?
for it. Go for it.
What was the fan gag? Because we don't have the jug gag anymore because Sam's not there.
This was Liam
Liam
and
still
I.
something. Oh,
Liam and I still buds.
oh, okay. Even though Sam's not there, Liam and I
Yeah.
still buzz. I think I missed out on the last one too, but I never got
The
to
last
ask
one
you.
just said hot boy.
Oh, hot boy, because Essek.
Because
Okay.
of us. Yeah.
All right, deleting that. Good. Oh, I think that Taliesin kind of ducked out on his idea of having matching outfits and cloaks. I mean, he mentioned it a little bit, but he did say at one point, he was like, I have an idea, but I'll bring it up later.
Right.
Like he'd thought about it. Like maybe he got drunk one night and he was like, "Oh, this is gonna be great for the show."
I think it was more about him wanting to incorporate Ashton wanting to incorporate FCG into all of their outfits.
Sure. He
Right.
also said like I like to have like a piece of everybody in my outfit, and then maybe we should all do this, you know?
Yeah.
And I thought maybe like he had a really strong, bold idea that he kind of like reneged on a little bit, perhaps.
Could be.
Because it sounded like he wanted to say it, but then he was like, you know what? No, I'm not going to push it. And
Yeah,
he kind of just like ducked
possibly.
away. That's how I felt. Huh. And then last one. When I think it was Robbie who asked, does this harness thing have a name? No, I don't think it was Robbie. It was either Travis or Liam. I don't remember who said it.
Yeah.
But he said, does this thing have a name? Do you remember what the name of it is? I don't think I ever remembered.
Or don't. Damn it. I don't remember.
She's
Yeah,
meowing
she's-
over there.
I know. She's just like, hey, pay attention to me.
It's called the quintessence array.
That's what it's called, the quintessence array.
And my
Yeah.
first thought, I just went and paid my phone bill tonight, and like that's when I heard it. I didn't hear it the first 2 times that I watched the show, and when he said, yeah, it's called the quintessence array, I'm like, this guy's not looking these words up. He's not finding some encyclopedia where
No.
he is making this shit up. Matthew called it the quintessence array. And like I'm thinking like I did a fucking report on quintessence when I was studying physics in college
Yep.
because it was like an old-fashioned idea where like ether and then quintessence came after ether, where it's like you can't have a vacuum. There's no such thing as empty space. There has to be something there, otherwise matter doesn't exist. And then they came up with ether, and then they came up with quintessence, or did I just say that backwards? I don't remember. And it was like an avenue in which waves could travel, right?
Okay.
So he's sitting here like a quintessence array. Now this sounds kind of like flux capacitor kind of thing.
A little bit.
It sounds smart, but it's like actually it makes no fucking sense whatsoever.
Yep.
So it's like quintessence, like matrix of like, you know, a 3x3 matrix of quintessence. That makes no sense. But still, Matthew came up with it, and it's like, it sounds good. It sounds scientific. and just kudos to him. I don't know. Like maybe he's got the panel like we talked about before, but I'm just a big fan of Matthew, and coming up with this shit, he gets all the fucking credit, man. I'm a big fan. Let's see. Do I have anything else? Nah, the other ones are from the last episode. And we are at 50 minutes. That's a fine time to end it. How do you feel?
I'm beat. I've had a long week, and
You've been stifling yawns for like minutes, man.
Tired, man. Tired. I apologize. I'm trying to get through it.
Oh no. Hey, man. Lots of stuff going on at the moment. Yeah.
Meow. Meow.
Oh, Hazel. Oh, she's the best. Sometimes I miss my cat, but my cat was nothing like this. He was just a psycho that would yell at me from the other room all the time.
Hey.
Oh, stop biting.
Yeah, it just gets too excited, too turned on. Like, oh, it's so good, I must bite. Oh well.
Should we put a cap on this one, bud?
Yeah, let's stick a fork in it.
All right. Oh, hey, by the way, I am so bad at checking messages on YouTube. Did you get nothing?
Nothing.
Right,
Ow!
cool.
Nothing this week.
Good. I didn't miss anything. All right, cool. Speaking of which, that's the best way to get in touch with us. Get in the comments down below. Don't do the email. Just comment down there. Anything relevant to this.
Yep.
Secondarily,
We're
follow
off
Ben
next
Green's.
week.
We are off next week.
We're off next week. Yeah.
Because there's no
main campaign. I
campaign.
don't know what they're actually doing next week. Oh, they might be doing the live Candela Obscura. That might be what they're doing. They might be playing that one.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense.
Usually about this time they would do four-sided dive.
Next week for sure.
Right.
The first Tuesday, right?
Yeah. 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 For anything else, you can follow Ben at bengreenspoon on all social media. You can follow me at drummatucka. If you caught my promos when Ben's shit out.
I want to figure this out.
Follow me at drummatucka. It's all in the information. Yeah. Hey, new computer, man. It'll all be sorted. It's no big deal.
Hope so.
And people love it when you leave and it's just me sitting here. So don't worry about it, man.
They definitely do.
Yeah, it's their favorite. Get in the comments and just let me know, or let me know if I'm full of shit. Yeah, I got nothing else to promote, man. Private drum lessons, if you happen to be in the area in Taichung, there's a place down the street that I'm starting some private lessons at. I got 2 open slots left. So if you happen to know someone, or if you happen to be somebody who wants to learn from probably the hardest fucking rocker you've ever met in Taiwan, maybe in your country too, get in touch. Get my DMs or place a comment right downstairs. And I got nothing else, Ben. How about you?
I'm good.
All right, well then don't forget to love each other, and is it finally next Friday? Peace. That is not the peace sign, but you understand. Take care, everybody. There he is. Look how Asian Ben is.